where we've used it and it didn't go as well. So yeah, and then on top of that, we're kind of big on BeatStars. So BeatStars adds to us. I want to say we probably have like the second most or second or third most followers on BeatStars. So it's it might not be as smart for us to use it just because we already have enough reach on the BeatStars platform. But I would still recommend people to try it and just see if it works for you.
Sad, you guys, have you guys done any ads?
Man, we don't even use BeatStars, bro. We've been on Airbit this whole time.
Where?
Yeah,
Just
but I
be
mean,
stuff
we don't use
that
anything,
train.
no promo on Airbit or nothing like that.
What about like Facebook or any of that? And none of that ads on
Facebook, I
there.
mean, nah, we ain't been. No, we don't really run too many ads anymore. We did at a point in time, but um, nah, bro. Mainly YouTube. Mainly YouTube. YouTube's been good to us.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's been good.
I feel like
Uh,
using Facebook is just a waste of time, honestly. In my opinion.
yeah. I mean, we've used Facebook and stuff to like retarget people that have been to our website. Um,
Yeah.
lately, it's crazy, bro, and I'm not even trying to like not give people gems, but it's just one of those things to where we've always kind of like dabbled in a little bit of everything, like when it comes to Facebook, YouTube, like Google Ads and stuff like that. Sometimes it works for us, sometimes it don't, but that's like how we're always constantly like pivoting, like, all right, this isn't working, let's try this and do this a different way, and you know what I mean. So there's not a right or wrong way. It's just you got to see what works for you.
Yeah, trial and error.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
like this whole beat selling stuff online and as like a career, I feel like producers is just it's really just trial and error. You know what I mean? Just and you got to learn from what doesn't work and pivot.
Yep.
That's the gym right there.
Facts. That's facts.
Do another thing that I feel like isn't talked about enough is um collabing with buying collabs with producers that are already successful on BeatStars and Airbit. Do you guys do that? Like if people buy collabs, will you upload it and like do profit splits?
Yes. So we've done like producer collabs and we have done that, but at one point we didn't do it to where we uploaded the collabs just because I don't know. Sometimes people are like kind of weird about it. You know what I mean? Or like they'll
Oh
just
God.
be on our neck, like, bro, when are you gonna upload it? Or I sometimes if a beat's not hard and it might not sell, I don't want producers to feel like we try to take advantage of them or anything like that. I always try to avoid putting myself in situations like that. But we have personally bought a collab from another producer a long time ago, which was the Beat Plug. And, I feel like back in the day that was one of the ways you could kind of like start and build relationships, and that collab ended up being it sold, and then he wanted to do another collab with us for like because he just liked the beats, and then the next collab ended up being a Bad Bunny and that Bright Tiago song. So yeah, man. I mean, I would definitely say if you're a producer, collabing is a good way of networking, and if you got to pay for the collab, I would say invest in yourself, man, and just see what works for you. But definitely,
That's a good way to get your name out too.
yeah,
Like even though like if you people feel like paying for collabs is like a waste of time. Like it I ain't gonna lie, like it's really how I got started in the industry. Like
yeah,
it you just gotta look at it like not the cons of it, but the pros of it. Like you have a chance to get in the placement, you have a chance of, working with new people, building relationships at the same time. Not just look at it like you just wasting money on something that could possibly not happen type shit.
yeah. And like I said, man, like those paid collabs, they could, as weird as it might sound, they could turn into like relationships, or some of these people could end up being like your friends and stuff. It's just all part of like you got to take an initiative to network, and if there's a cost to it, you ain't gonna know until you try it, man. So that's why I
Okay.
said trial and error.
I feel like it goes back to what you were saying. Like you gotta love it. Like you can't
Yeah,
just like you gotta just love the process of reaching out to like Beat Demons or Thad or New Money and not even just you guys like and collabing and spending that money and seeing what comes back and like you said even maybe a placement or money comes from it, maybe
yeah,
not even a relationship comes from it, but you learn something, you put more time in, and
facts,
there's always something like maybe like you learn something from it, like whether it's something technical or production wise or business wise. You just gotta like love it, even without a result. You gotta love the process.
facts.
Gotta trust the process.
Facts. But yo, if you got anyone in the audience, I think I asked it last time, but I didn't look. Oh, we got Heat in here, man. We got to bring them up. I know they got some gems. They've been dropping a lot of gems on the community. But if you guys got a question, raise your hand. Like hit the little like heart emoji with the plus at the bottom right, and there should be like a hand raise emoji, and I'll bring you right up if you do that. And you can definitely ask these guys a question you may have. Heat was good. You were about to say something, B. Davis?
Nah, my bad. I had coughed.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, if no one's got any questions, then what I guess each one of you guys, what's like the best piece of advice that you could leave with these guys?
Man, keep going.
Damn, those mine.
Ooh,
Just
that's
be
a tough one.
consistent. Be consistent, bro. Don't give up.
Just
Like,
keep going, man.
Yeah,
Just be
like I said
consistent.
before, believe and achieve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, nah, I would just say like just be consistent, man, and you gotta love making music, and I wouldn't jump in making beats if you're just solely in it for the money. You gotta love the process. You gotta love making beats and stuff like that, and I think that alone right there is gonna help you be successful or
It's gonna take you far.
have a career in making music.
Just gonna take you far
Yep.
for.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yep.
yo, Heat was good, man. Been wanting to connect with you guys, and I love a lot of the content you guys put out. About a lot of the topics we've been talking about as far as email and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, dude. I just joined this. I saw you guys were doing this. This is awesome.
No, definitely. Yeah, we're gonna do some more of these, so we definitely got to get one like a dedicated one with you guys going pretty soon. But what like what's we were talking about email, and I feel like you guys have been talking a lot about that lately. What are some
Mhm.
advice you guys can give on like starting email list?
I think the biggest thing is like mindset around email. I hate saying this like this, but the biggest thing I see, and I do this myself, when I first got into like the email side thing, I was like, dude, I never buy shit from email. And then I got into like a lot like the e-commerce space myself with marketing. I was like, dude, there's people doing like 8-figure agencies off email marketing. I was like, so people buy from email. It's just the issue I like the biggest issue in the producer space is either people approach email like cold emailing people, which doesn't really work that well to just like get emails off Twitter and like blast them with beats. Like that really doesn't work that well.
Facts.
To my knowledge, I've never seen that really do that crazy. I may be wrong there, but like if you really build up a YouTube channel and then you get these free downloads, you get customers. Literally, it's just there's like activation points in email, right? Is when somebody joins your list, like they're very well aware of who you are, and after they buy, because like a welcome sequence for a new subscriber and a post purchase sequence, those email open rates are like 67% on average. So like that's the best time. Like your foot is in the door. And a lot of producers, they have no email set up when someone joins the list. They have no email set up when somebody spends money with them. And you just miss out on just starting the relationship so well and kind of like setting expectations almost of like every week I'm gonna be sending you beats and new beats and I'll do sales here and there. And so that's a big one.
I like that.
So the automation ones more so than the broadcast.
Yeah, automations, and then just do broadcasts every week of like the biggest thing that we do is just every week just tie in like what happened this week, like just personal stuff too. Like you don't have to go crazy about like what you ate and whatnot, but just like personal stuff or even ask questions of like the one email we did was like, yo, today I realized I've been making beats for 4 years for the one producer. It was like, how long have you been making music for? Let me know. I feel like I do this every day and it's awesome. And so the call to action was like listen to beats, and people just like replied to of like, oh, I've been doing it for 3 years, 2 years, blah blah. And a lot of these artists, they will give you 10 paragraphs about their whole life. I swear to God, it's kind of hilarious sometimes. They will give you like their whole backstory of like, so I started off in the youth choir, man, when I was 6, touched a piano key for the first time. I knew I was inspired. And they'll give you their whole life story. But
So, hey, bro.
yeah.
So I have a question. So
Yeah.
when you're sending out emails and stuff like that, because we have been doing that as well, and we've been finding like you got to also like ask questions and provide some type of value instead of just always kind of just trying to spam people with your beats and stuff.
Mhm.
But when you send out like those emails, what do you feel works best for you? Like using templates, or do you like write text?
So it's all plain text.
Plain text.
Like I've seen people do there's other kinds of, I guess, like graphically designed emails.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see that working well in the space because I think a lot of artists really enjoy the personal connection, and I think like just a plain text email really it doesn't make you look like some big company. It just makes you look like a producer like trying to make a good song with this person.
Yep.
I
That's
agree with
it.
that, bro. Because on our end too, we're not selling beats, but we're more in the kit selling space. But
Same thing for kids. Yeah, 100%.
yeah, bro, the plain text email outperforms like when you try to do like a nice colorful the colorful templates and all that always flop. That's why we stopped doing them. We tested them. Plain text email when it just looks like it's like you just said, like more personal, like someone actually wrote this email out.
Yeah.
It works so much better. I think the sauce too is people know it's automated, but if you can write it like personally, people don't care.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, we always kind of try to like we do a mixture, but yeah, I've been wanting to kind of dive in and try to make stuff more personable, but I always try to avoid being repetitive or just it's sometimes it's kind of hard to keep up with like new ideas and not be so repetitive with like the personal emails.
But see, the thing I love about it, maybe I'm corny, but that'd be an email of like some days I feel like I'm so repetitive, or when in doubt too, this is a gem. Just say you feel like you've been listening to the same music over and over again and you need some new music. So ask the artist to like reply back with their songs and tell them you'll check it out. That one always gets crazy responses.
And then do you actually respond?
That's
Like, because you were talking about how like the guy they'll send you their life story. Like, are you actually do you recommend personally responding back to those guys and stuff?
Yeah. So for the one producer, there's the kid who runs the support. He'll reply to all those emails. And sometimes we don't do this a lot. Like it's very rare. I wish we want to do it more, but almost putting like an active campaign we use for the email marketing to almost try and like add a data point of like some weird shit they said that like would only be specific to them. But
Say that one more time.
So let's say with the one producer, he had a large audience of people who made like religious music. Like their big thing was like they made
like worship music.
Yeah, but like it's almost like in their emails they'd be like, all glory to God, like Jesus is my savior, like some stuff like that, which I was like, yo, that's really interesting of a point. And so I was like, I wonder if I could like manually put that in their contact and essentially send them a personalized email of something to do with them being more so religious.
That's hard.
Like,
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you're talking about like kind of like segmenting them or like adding a key or tag that kind of just like it changes up like your tone. It sounds a little evil when you say it, but you know what I'm saying? Like you change up like your tone of like how you approach them and stuff like that. So
yeah, I think I mean, you can say it's evil, but I also like it because like it's giving somebody a personalized experience.
Yeah, nah, facts. Sometimes, I mean, I don't know how to explain certain shit. So.
No, I get you. Like
Yeah,
sometimes it feels like I'm crossing the line, but it's
yeah,
a lot of it gives somebody a personalized experience, which is
yeah.
the whole point.
Nah, that's dope though, bro. That you gave me some ideas and stuff.
But that's something super rare though, because like you have to manually do that and figure out
Yeah,
how to
nah,
make it work.
I feel like that would be kind of hard though. You know what I mean? But if you master that or figure that out, bro, that's key as fuck.
But yo, I think another gem about like asking them to write you back, like asking them a question in the email. I've heard, I can't prove this, but I've heard that if you actually get someone to reply to your email, then you're more likely in the future to go into their primary inbox instead of
Oh
their
yeah. So
promotion
Dylan, you want to
stuff.
hear some maybe maybe this is the evil part, but so you send the send me back your music email about 2 weeks before you do a sales campaign.
Oh
Because
shit.
they're going to reply to that email with their music, so that way your sales campaign is more likely to go to them. So yeah, there's maybe some evil shit.
That's a
That's
gem.
dope.
That's a gem though.
That's dope.
But hey, if you're actually listening to it, then it's not really, you know.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, bro, I feel like this is the part where it's like you gotta become like business savvy as far as like making beats, because you gotta know how to make good beats, but at the same time, you gotta operate as a business and as an e-commerce platform. And if you're able to do that, that's like a major role in being able to, your road to like being successful online and making income.
100%.
Another thing, like because you were talking to a lot. You were talking. What's your name, by the way, bro? You go by Heat or you go by a different name?
I go by Ryan. The company's name is Heat.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah, Ryan. So, you were talking about like, oh, I would do that for an email, and I think one thing is people overthink emails a lot. Like I try to think about email just like any other social media platform. Like you
Facts.
just said, like you would post about your day on IG, and you wouldn't think like, oh, this is corny. Why would you think it's corny on email? It's just literally another outlet to connect with your audience on.
I think too, like a lot of people overthink it, and I think they want to be not perceived in a way. I think they don't really see it as like email is just a way to deepen the brand. So you just talk how you actually talk, like if you're talking to a friend. Because I think the one thing like with like Beat Demons, right? Like I see you guys on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Like that deepens my relationship with, like I've never spoken to you guys until now, but
Yeah.
I kind of have an understanding of who you are
Hmm.
based off seeing your TikToks and your sense of humor and how you guys express yourself, right?
Thanks.
And it's the same thing with email, like how you write in your email, what you say in your email, what if you make jokes in your email, like it may seem small at first, but that shit really means a lot to like building that fan base and that connection with people who are on your list. And they're on your list for a reason in the
Definitely.
first place.
That's facts.
Ryan, before you got in here, we were talking a lot about like it's a numbers game, and a lot of like we're talking a lot about building email off of free beats, but there's a lot of people that'll download free beats but may never end up converting to actually be a customer.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things people get discouraged by. They're like, oh man, I got 300, 400 people on my list, and I'm sending emails, but literally never does anyone buy anything. What's like a good decent email size that you think like is some like when you start actually getting a good return?
I'd say it really depends on how you utilize it and kind of what you have in place to handle that, so to speak. So for the one producer who does free for profit beats, Matthew May, he's a guy we've been helping for almost a year now. And so he does free for profit beats for up to a certain point. So he gets a shit ton of downloads. And so what was crazy is he was like, bro, I get all these downloads. I was like, nothing ever happens. So I sent up an email that it basically says like that email has a really high open rate, probably like 50%, because they just joined the list, like I said before. And so to be like, why did you even free download the beat? Like, I'm just curious. And so a lot of people are like, oh, I need it for background music, or I need it. I'm just like dicking around in SoundCloud. I'm a SoundCloud artist. Like I have really no money. Like it's free for profit. You said that, like blah, blah. And then we'll do like
you know, if you're not interested in getting like beat updates and beat sales and like learning, like deepening a connection or relationship, like you just wanted the beat because the beat was cool, like just unsubscribe. Or if they don't open the email, we'll resend an email, and if they don't open that email, they get unsubbed from the list too.
That's facts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to like kind of turn people off or annoy people, because if they're not customers, you're better off not having them on your list anyways. Is that kind of the
Yeah,
thought?
and like it's just there's no specific number. It's just the more you have, the more leverage you have.
Yeah, and then I would always also say is, you could have 1,000 people that kind of listen to your music or once like come across your music, and then you could have 200 like hardcore fans, and you'll make more income off the 200 like hardcore fans.
100%.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's about the size of your list. I would say like how
It's
like
like who makes it up and kind of what's their role.
yeah, like if they're
So
like hardcore supporters, you know what I mean? So I would just focus on trying to get like hardcore supporters and not so much, make your list like bigger.
Dylan, I don't know, this is kind of a random question, but do you guys use Klaviyo? I think you use Klaviyo. I stalked you for producer and stuff.
Yep, we use
So
Klaviyo.
for the one producer, we help with sample kits. We always segment emails based off customer or non-customer for most of the emails. And to go with what Beat Demons was saying, the customers always spend way more money than non-customers.
For sure.
And it's less people clicking it. So like, yeah.
So like, yeah, because I've done that, like where we segmented it. I feel like for the majority of our campaigns, though, like the broadcast emails, there's not really much difference in like speaking to a customer versus non-customer.
Mm-hmm.
There definitely are cases, but I feel like sometimes I'm kind of lazy and I just group them all into one. You know what I mean?
I think it's really good for like sales campaigns, but for like the usual broadcast, it can be pretty much overkill to just change like one line about a new product releasing. It doesn't really make much sense in terms of like time.
Yeah, and then also too, like the cost thing. Like there's 75% of the people on our email list are non-customers. They're from free downloads. So sometimes like I'll just if it's something that I know is specifically going to be more geared towards people that have spent money, I'll just only send it to the people that have spent money.
True. That's 80-20 hard right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not recommending that. Like, I don't know if that's best practice or just me being cheap or lazy or what. But yeah, just kind of just being upfront about that.
I do think that's smart though, to try to filter like who's not interested in purchasing something, and like pretty much just telling them straight out like, yo, like if you don't want to receive like updates about beats, or you're not really serious about music,
please find the unsubscribe button below.
I mean, that's kind of hard though, bro, because we do have some people in our list that like they're there, but they don't always respond, or sometimes they just open it, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. So I definitely think
you want to get more on the evil side, so to speak. This isn't evil, but I just like how you said that, so I'm gonna run with it.
Yeah,
so
I'm
in our
beat
sales
demons, you know what I'm saying?
In our sales,
they are the beat demons. So
yeah. Oh, that's true. This is what we do. So we always give like a way for people. It's another gem. So when we do a sales campaign, we don't give people, or no, you always have to have the option to unsubscribe from like the actual list. But we give a direct call to action of like, if you want to stop getting these sales campaigns, you can unsubscribe here, and it will just unsubscribe them from the actual sales campaign, not the entire list. But also what we do is later on in the sales campaign, right, we'll say we've given you plenty of chances to opt out, and like you're still opening these emails, so obviously something like something has enough, you have enough interest in this, right? Like you haven't opted out, you haven't told us no, like maybe go back, listen to the beats again, see what's up.
Yeah.
So that's the actual content, like text of the email, basically. You're saying.
Yeah.
You're saying like, yo, you're here for some reason.
Yeah, like you haven't opted out. We've given you plenty of chances, so something must have caught your ear.
Yeah. Like, yo, which one is it, bro?
So
I like that.
Ryan, are you guys like all about like BeatStars and like beat stores? Do you kind of like also into the funnel stuff too?
To an extent, I would say like we like doing a more custom website over the pro page, whatnot. We're definitely like big into email marketing, big into like the producer side too. We're getting in there with like sample kits and whatnot and packs. And
Could I ask why custom site over pro page?
so we like it for a few reasons. One was the overall layout and like user experience and usability of what you can change.
Facts.
So like what I did right now is for the one producer on the headline, it's like 5 stars, trust like rated 5 stars by over like 2,000 some independent artists for like social proof. There's social proof of like testimonials right under the BeatStore player. Also, like you can get SEO if you want to write blogs. No producer ever really writes blogs, so that's never really a selling point. But that's something you can do. Before BeatStars made the exit intent, we had exit intent going for a few months before that, and it had like an 11% purchase conversion rate, which was insane.
Exit pop up.
Yeah, exit pop up. And then the lead magnet, you can put a lead magnet on the site too, where we'll actually collect information of like how did you find my site, what type of artist are you, and then I think there was another one. I'm tripping on that one, but essentially that would go then into like Google Sheet, which goes into like a data studio. This is some more complex shit. So essentially, you could see like when someone signs up for a pack of free beats, they're telling you how they found you. So if you see everyone coming from Instagram, like okay, like let's go harder on Instagram because that
That's
seems to be
dope.
working. And then also too, like the segmentation is have you bought beats before? That's another one. So it's how did you find me? What artist genre are you, and have you bought beats before? And so what artist are you? That can be used for segmentation of your like weekly campaigns of new beats. So essentially, like an easy way to do this is like for your subject line, for the trap guys, you could put new trap beats as like a subject line. And for the boom bap guys, you could put new boom bap beats as a subject line.
And
And they'll be more likely to open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
And then the have you purchased beats yes or no before? What we have a sales automation set up to where it welcomes them in, and then we pitch a 30% off sale. And so if they bought beats before, it'll ask them like if they're working on any new projects or whatnot. But if they haven't bought beats before, we go over the importance of like why you need to buy beats and like actually understanding licensing, or like maybe you have a question about licensing and you want to know more, like reply and let us know.
And where is this? Like this is a pop up, or this is?
So yeah, the pop up will collect it on the website.
Oh, and you ask them those questions. Have you ever bought beats? Gotcha. Okay.
That's dope.
And then it sends them into the automation you're talking about.
So I have a question, bro. So you said custom over pro page. I know in the past we've had a pro page, like a custom page, but sometimes it took it forever to load, or
Remember how you built it?
What was that?
Like, what did you use to build it?
We had, this has been a while, bro. We had used the person that built websites, and he had did the website. It's been a long time, bro. So
did you have like an embed HTML player, or was it like a whole new like BeatStars system?
No, it was like we embedded the BeatStars player and stuff like that. So yeah, it just sometimes it wouldn't load right, or it just, you know what I mean, it didn't do its thing, to where sometimes it would say like for the website to load, it took X amount of time, and sometimes it just bounced, or people like weren't able to load the page. So I know technology already came a long way, so I'm sure now it might be a good option for people to do it. So
yeah, that's 100% changed. Oh, plus another thing is you can add banners with countdown timers. That's
that's where we're at right now, bro. We've been considering like kind of switching over to like a custom site. I was just curious, do y'all embed the player? Or
we embed the player. If you type in like MatthewMayMusic.com or rujay.co.uk, those are the two websites you can see.
Okay, yeah, I'll just hit you up later.
Yeah,
that's dope though. Yeah, because that's the BeatStars is cool, and I feel like they're always real innovative with stuff. But as a platform, I know sometimes it's kind of hard to constantly update it and keep stuff up to date with everybody's requests. But yeah, I feel like it would be smart for producers if the websites load faster now to definitely do custom, because there's a lot of like integrated stuff that you could add, that I feel that can turn into making it easier for you to get sales and using that information.
Yeah, I think too. Once beat stores integrate like a band, I know Soundy does it. The one beat store, they have a band in cart for like
Mhm.
anywhere. I know BeatStars only marketplace right now, but I know once BeatStars does like abandoned cart on the pro page, it's gonna go crazy for guys who are seeing a lot of beat sales.
Yeah, well, they used to have a thing called Data Crushers.
Yeah, I remember that, bro. I hated that. It was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what
Thanks.
happened to Data Crushers. Just dropped off the fucking map one day. Then same thing with Fan Connect, and then they came right back, and it's just certain. But that's what I'm saying. It's just one of those things to where it's kind of hard for BeatStars to constantly keep up with certain things that are integrated, because I think the Data Crushers was an outside issue where something just fell apart with Data Crushers. So I think being able to customize your own website is something that producers might need to use. But I say the back end, as far as like keeping your information and like making beat sales and saving like collecting like the people that have purchased beats from you. I feel like BeatStars as a website is good, and their marketplace is dope as fuck. We get a lot of sales from there too.
Yeah, I think it's like once you want to start to expand, I think it's only really once you're aware of like what more you could possibly do and how that would affect your business, it makes sense. Because a lot of people are like, why would I create a website, do all this